All right, we have some updates in the pro athletes sports betting scandal world, right? Obviously, a little over a week ago now, we were talking Terror Rozier, we were talking Chauncey Billups, absolutely crazy. Now we do have an indictment coming down on Luis Ortiz, on who we'll focus on more so here, Emmanuel Clase. And if proven guilty, we could be looking at 20 years in prison here. Now, do I think Clase gets 20 years in prison? No, he's a millionaire with obviously a good legal team. I think for the accounts that they have and how hard it's going to be to fully prove the involvement, I would assume he doesn't get the 20 years, right? Especially when we can be honest that there's a lot worse happening in the world getting 20 years, maybe less at some point. Unless they really wanted to make an example out of him, which I would understand, right? Letting other players know, hey, don't do this. Maybe that's the only way that they get maximum, but I would even be shocked if this guy spends a year in prison, you know what I mean? But anyways, there's a couple things I want to talk about here. First off, just the I don't know if it's okay to bring the humor to it, but if you guys hadn't seen, there was a report that on the 28th or on or about the 28th of May, there was a bettor that wagered roughly around $4,000 that a specific pitch by Clase would be a ball. The pitch did indeed to be out of the strike zone, as if Clase was trying to throw it out of the zone, but the batter swung and missed for a strike. We have that right here. It's Andy Pages. Clase throws it. Now, this is top of the ninth, no outs, no pitches yet, right? First pitch, boom, it's way out of the zone. He throws it in the dirt. Pages swings. He swings. Now, I can only imagine what Clase is going through in his brain, because he's like, dude, I did everything that I could, right? And it still didn't come to fruition for us there. But and again, I don't know if this is, I think that this is quite funny, right? Maybe we shouldn't be making jokes about the sports betting in the professional athlete realm and all that, but the fact that after that, and it says it right here, approximately 20 minutes later, Better One or Better I lost the wager, obviously on that, and they sent a text message to Clase of a gif of a man hanging himself with toilet paper. And then Cleveland did win the game, so why would Clase ever be sad, right? Because 10 minutes later, he sent a sad puppy dog face in response to alleged Better I. Keep in mind, Cleveland won the game, so obviously that's pretty tough to see, right? And tough to even defend or anything like that. But still, we're talking 20 years here. We'll see if that actually ends up happening. But again, I wanted to bring that up because I think that is just like kind of, one, didn't cover your tracks all that well or anything like that, and two, it's like a gif. He tried to throw it out of the zone. These guys couldn't even run the operation for that example appropriately and get it through. But the second thing that I wanted to bring up, other than how I guess crazy and how comical I find that portion of this is the reason why we're seeing these guys do this. And everyone's like, oh my God, Clase is set to make tens of millions of dollars, Rozier millions of dollars, tens of millions, like, why are these guys doing this? And the sooner we get it through our thick heads that has nothing to do with the money, the sooner we can probably move on and try and decipher what's actually going on here, right? Because yes, these guys like Clase, the reported numbers are, I think, a total of $12,000 he made. And it's like, why would you ever do that for $12,000? You know what I mean? Like, this dude was set to make millions and millions. You know what I mean? So why would you do that? It's a fair question if we're thinking of it from just a dollar-to-dollar perspective. That's where we're going wrong, though. These guys aren't doing it for the money. We should know that by now. And the fact that there's so many even sports bettors or people that are in the sports betting industry on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere, talking about this and not realizing that that's the case is weird. Like, if that was my first gut reaction, it's the same thing as someone that, wants to put $1 on a game. What's $1 to someone? I mean, now if you are in financial hard times, I get it, $1 might be more, but just go with me here for the sake of this argument. Putting $1 on a Thursday night football game may make you like that game even more, may make it even more entertaining, and it's a hell of a lot more valuable in terms of the entertainment value than that $1 actually probably holds. These guys, I would have to imagine, and obviously allegedly, or this is just my thoughts or theory, would have to imagine that them pulling the wool over the leagues and the sportsbook's eyes, or being able to wink in public, hey, we did that, no one knows. That's the type of thrill that they're seeking, doing, and getting out of it, right? The adrenaline that they're getting is realistically what they want. Now, I'm not saying these are the smartest guys in the world. I think you're dumb as you know what if you're involved in this, because yeah, you should, even if what I'm saying is true, that adrenaline junkie, or they want this or that, you should be able to be like, well, I can just buy this or that if I really do with my 20s of millions of dollars. You know what I mean? So I get that it's absolutely just asinine and absolutely stupid. But are we going to deny that that's the clear reason? Like, nobody should be thinking, why would he do it for just 12 grand? It's like, we know why he did it. For the thrill, for the fact that he's involved in this group that's kind of doing it. Now, I'm not saying the back end isn't money driven, right? Especially when we talk about the alleged mob involvement with Chauncey and stuff like that. Like, clearly there's money motives for some of these guys. But Clase throwing that pitch, I can't imagine he's thinking, let's throw this as a ball. I just made $5 grand. That pitch probably technically is worth more than $5 grand if you just look at his contract, right? So that is the reason, and why that is important for us, consumers, or even people that are looking into this. Why is that important? Because if guys are doing this not for the money, not for the dollar amount, that should raise some serious alarms, because that's harder to track and trace than some stupid people putting limit max wagers on some of these dumb props, right? That's sportsbooks, alarms will go up, red flags, all that. They'll find these guys. But some of the people that may be doing it for even less money, or, you know, something like that, is more alarming, because the fact that this is, at least reportedly right now, a situation that Clase made 12 grand out of, that makes me think more guys could be doing this, because if it's not about the money, which it's clearly not, then they're doing it for other reasons, and everyone likes the thrill or the adrenaline or stuff like that, right? It's a matter of, do you weigh that over your own contract? And some of these guys may. We've seen it now, right? So I do think that there should be some serious high alert for anyone involved in this from a investigation perspective or anything like that right now, because the fact that that number's so low almost makes me feel like it's even worse and even more widespread than we may think as a consumer and someone that is on the outside looking in, right? So just mark my words, there could be some issues here, but obviously Luis Ortiz and Clase are totally denying this, and a lot of those accounts that they have, you know, all the dates like we have right here, we do have a brief list of them, like all of these are gonna be pretty hard to totally prove, not from a, hey, did that happen perspective, but a, hey, did Clase actually try to throw a ball? That type of thing, you know what I mean? Or he had some pitches that were like, you know, his first pitch would be less than 99, so he'd throw an off speed, and obviously that's easy to hit too. Like, his involvement is going to be really tough. I've even seen on Twitter people being like, the catcher is calling his pitches, and I forget what it was, someone did the math, it was like 70% of these accounts, he just went with the catcher's first read. That's weird too, right? So again, to make it full circle and bring it back to that 20 years, if found fully guilty, I can't even imagine. There's just so many outs here. Like, this is going to be a spot in which, yeah, maybe he's made an example, and maybe it does cause some other players to second guess before doing something stupid like this. But man, oh man, I really don't want people to underestimate the reason that they did this, and because of that reason, how much more widespread this is than we probably think. If guys aren't doing this for the money, they're doing it just for whatever gets them off, that's an even bigger problem. But hey, this is not a closed case or anything like that, right? Like, there's still a lot to come out here. Anything we're talking about here is just either my theory or allegedly or anything like that. But that's what I got for you guys today. I want to know all of your thoughts on what's going on here down in the comments. Not so much about what's going on and everything like that, but does it make sense? And do you now think of it a little differently, that if this isn't for the money, this could be way more widespread than we think, because there could be guys that are doing this even lower level than Clase, could be doing this for a couple $100. Their buddies are doing it for a couple $100. Like, say player A has two best friends from back home, and they've been, you know, thick as thieves on each other's hips forever. What if they're just getting a kick out of, hey, take my under tonight, take my over on the first, like, whatever it is, right? And being able to do that. The sports books for like $100 wager aren't going to be like, ding, 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 we got a problem here. You know what I mean? I think this could be a lot more widespread than we think, which is just absolutely awful. So let me know what you think of that down in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next one, right? Peace out.